We are back. Welcome
Back,
back
back
to another episode of the
episode
ONJ podcast. I'm your
podcast.
co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Hope everyone's having a good day, a good night. This is um post NBA draft, post pre preseason, pre free agency trade deadline special. A lot to get into. I'll have you do the honors. Um,
The Giannis Antetokounmpo saga is over.
just go for it. Go for
It's
it.
about time. It's
It's
about
about
time
time.
because I was sick and tired of them dragging it on and on and on and on and on
And on.
and on.
And
But he
on.
finally got traded. The moment we thought we'd never see. Um, um, didn't he put like a post that was like, "I ain't going anywhere" back during the trade deadline? Anyway, he's going somewhere, and that is to the Miami Heat. Miami Heat. Pat Riley woke up and he made a move. He traded
So,
for Giannis, Bobby Portis.
you said Pat Riley woke up.
He woke up, bro. He woke up. That's all he's been waiting for. In
Put his
exchange for
Publix cart, left his Publix cart at the store. It's just like,
Fitz Public card.
well, I'll be
Oh,
back. We gotta make this trade. I'll be back.
you think he went back and got the groceries, or
No, 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 what?
no?
No, no. Definitely got him I don't know what's the app. I don't know what's the app. Postmates
What?
or like the grocery store app. That's not important.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cart. Instacart, something.
Instacart. Yes, Instacart. He definitely got an Instacart.
Yeah, yeah. They got Giannis,
Giannis,
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis.
The Bucks. What
What
you
didn't the,
shaking your head already?
what didn't they get?
um, let's just say they got the Miami Heat.
Yes,
Um,
they did.
yeah, yeah, they got the Miami Heat because I don't know what bench they have anymore. The Miami Heat is literally just a roster of Giannis and who else is on that? Bam. That's about it. They traded everybody away.
Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins. I don't know. I'm hearing Norman Powell. Um,
Norman Powell's a free agent, isn't he?
mm, oh yeah, 25, 26. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah. What's he gonna command though? Because he signed his last deal was a five for 90.
We
So
talking
like
about 2026 All-Star Norman Powell?
it's good. I mean, yeah. What is he? Wait, All Star? He was not no All Star this year, was he? No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah,
Am I tripping?
yeah. Was he not in all? Am I tripping?
I don't know.
Remember we had this whole big deal. Why didn't he make it to the All-Star game? He was the All-Star
Oh,
for
okay,
some
I
weird
see what you mean.
reason.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, he was hooping. He was hooping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think he's coming back. You think they'll re-sign him? I don't. Do they have money? Do the Heat have
No, he
money?
wasn't All Star. You're right.
Yeah. I don't think the Heat have money to do anything. They got Giannis, Bam. Wiggins is probably making like 30 something too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
But, well, yeah.
your
Who'd the
thoughts.
Bucks get?
Your
Oh,
thoughts.
we ain't finished. Wait, did you finish the Bucks? Who the Bucks got?
Huh? The
Did you finish who
Miami
the?
Heat. What else is there to say?
It looks like Wiggins is so he's gonna have a player option coming up this summer for 30 mil, which
Interesting.
is pretty much what you said. So yeah, you said my thoughts. This is interesting. I mean, I think both teams kind of got what they necessarily needed, I would say. Well, to be determined for the Bucks because it's a lot of young pieces that they got. And their GM is definitely going to be busy this offseason. I mean, because that roster is probably going to be loaded. By the time it's time for summer league and things like that. So in training camp, so they're definitely going to make some moves. But I love this move for the Heat, though. I mean, you get a superstar. Like who's it going to be, right? Is it going to be Jaw? Is it going to be Jaw last offseason? Is it going to be Dame Lillard the season before that? Like, who's the next? Like, you've been hearing just like murmurs of just, the Heat need another superstar. Like, you know what I mean, right? So, it's good, and this is definitely a superstar. I mean, Giannis is the league of the elite, right? He's a great player, great two-way player. I'm excited to see like what him and Bam could do, right? Because and it's interesting too, right? Because I've always had a thing like this. The thing about Bam, right, is like he's 6'8", 6'7". I don't know. I don't want to short. Maybe what 6'9". I don't know. Like what around that range, right? And he. I don't really personally see him as a full time center, right? You know what I mean? So, but you bring in Giannis, who's probably taller than Bam, right? Bigger, in terms of muscle and things like that. But even Giannis like isn't a full-time center, right? And the one center that you did have a chance to develop, you know, in Khalil Ware, is involved in the trade, right? So I'm wondering how that's going to work in terms of that front court, and what moves maybe they make, in the offseason to kind of get some, front court help. Because even Bobby Portis, right? Like he's a legit like power forward. You know what I mean? So it's like you've got a lot of tweeners. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering. I'm excited though. I think defensively they can do some special things, right? Even with Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, he can defend. He's a solid wing defender. So you've got like four great defenders. In that lineup. So you could definitely win the game. But I mean, like even in the league, right? Like you'll see some teams that have great defenses, but they'll still give up maybe like 100 over 100 points, right? So it's like in today's league, like is defense really like defense is important, of course, but is the talent that each team possesses like so much greater than like what a team could do defensively, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I mean, I think the talent and just the basketball like minds of coaches, like it's just so like advanced to where like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you have a Davion, yes, you have an Andrew Wiggins, yes, you have a Bam and a Giannis, but I mean, I'm sure there'll be teams that'll be able to strategize around that. You know what I mean? Because it's just that tough, in the league.
I think my biggest concern would
Hmm.
be, Giannis operates in the paint.
He does.
Obviously, Bam could, go out a little bit, but Bam probably more comfortable operating in the paint. Um,
I
so
mean,
you
he did
need,
score 83 points, so he can operate anywhere.
you know what? My bad. My bad. You're right. He's Mr. 83. How could I forget? How could I forget? I don't even want to say my statement anymore. I just completely forgot it. It's Mr. 83. Like nothing matters. Anyway, um, they need severe, severe shooting around these guys, in my opinion.
Indeed, indeed.
That's the biggest thing when whatever they decide to do. Because obviously they need a lot of moves to be made because they need a 15-man roster. Right now it's like what, three, four. Um, so whatever they do, their focus should be on finding shooting.
Did you say 3 or 4?
How many people are on that roster?
I
Bam,
mean,
Giannis, Wiggins,
you're not counting like the bench players.
Mitch, huh?
You're not counting the bench players like Jovic and like that dude from is he from Italy that came from Utah? Fettuccino, Frappuccino, no, Fettuccino,
I
Simone.
follow up question. Now that you mentioned that, right?
Hmm.
Are those guys really gonna be on this team?
Simone, he can shoot the. When I first seen him in Utah, like I love this game. Like I thought he was. Oh, was it Detroit? I think he was in Detroit. Yeah, I think he was in Detroit. Sorry, or maybe he. I think he went to from Detroit to Utah and then to the Heat, or other way around. But it don't make a difference. But I like his game. You know, he's a shooter. I think he plays like he just plays good basketball. Like he's a good role player. You know, he can play good basketball. I didn't really see him get that many opportunities with the Heat, so that was kind of a bummer. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, he played 70, but he only averaged 16 minutes a game. And I don't know what's Spoelstra. Like, I mean, there's guys like, that can play. Like, even Hami Hawkes, like, you would have loved to see him get some minutes too as well. He didn't really get that many minutes. Khalil Ware was in and out. Like, are you going to develop him? Like, are you not? Like, it was interesting. But I think, I wanted to pose another question too, but I'll do that later. But, uh, will they? I think Frappuccino. I think he'll be on the team. Who else? I mean, Norman Powell's. Yeah, like you said, he's up in the air. I mean, he's a free agent. So, um, Jovic. I mean, Jovic. He'll probably stay. I think. He's got some potential. Everybody else, though. I mean, like the slam dunk contest winner, Tashad Johnson. Like, I mean, who knows? Um, I mean, of course, you hope he keeps his job, but I mean, just depending on what free agency, like what the free agent market looks like. I mean, it's so many guys that they need to go after. You know what I mean?
I don't think any of them stay on the Heat. I think the Heat use them as trade baits to try to build people around Giannis and Bam, specifically because they don't have anything else.
I like Larson though. I like Pele Larson. I think because he played a lot for Spoelstra too. I think he started some games too, so he might be somebody they keep too. But yeah, no, they're definitely going to be busy though in free agency. Well, you just posed up like going after people. Like just to confirm, I heard you correctly. You did confirm like propose some trades, right?
Yeah,
Like, so who would they trade though? You think like who do they have outside of those four? I mean, you got to keep those four that you just named, right? Like you have to keep the four main guys, right? Or do you trade one of them?
the four main guys, no, they're keeping the two main guys, and then they're gonna try
Ah,
to go people places to try to get more people that could fit in. Um,
because
First off, I doubt the Heat will stay young. I think every young player on that team will probably get traded to
wow,
fill out that roster. Um, they're a win now team. Giannis is what 30, 31. Um, you know, his style of play is not a style of play that you've seen in the NBA lead to long term career.
yeah,
Your window's kind of short. You're gonna have to maximize what you have now. So
yeah. I mean, and this is a outside looking in question because I mean, only they know what's going on in the locker room. But do you think there's a disconnect between maybe young players and Spoelstra? Like, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, you get rid of Khalil Ware, you get rid of Tyler Hero, you get rid of Duncan Robinson, you get rid of Gabe. Was Gabe Vincent young? I don't remember. I'm not sure. I don't remember if he was young, but you get rid of, oh yeah, I said Ware, Jaime Jaquez. Like you get, and then now you're talking about, and I could see your suggestion like probably coming to fruition. Like you're talking about, like a lot of these young guys may not even be on the team, right? Like you said, because they're in a win now. Is there a disconnect? You think like between maybe I don't know if it's Spoelstra, I don't know if it's Pat Riley, between like young players and then maybe like kind of and the front office or Spoelstra. I don't know either or maybe they're one or I don't know if it's between Spoelstra or if it's between Riley. Like I don't know.
um, I would say the disconnect would be in terms of they still want to be win now. Um,
Right,
I think you've seen the Heat, and the Heat, even when they should be rebuilding, they necessarily don't want to be rebuilding.
right.
So I just don't think the Heat as an organization has the patience to try to, get a young. player and try to develop him, I think they're always like, we have to do whatever to win, win, win. Maybe the rookies make a mistake and it's like, I can't trust you out there on the floor, you know.
Because you see that with Khalil Ware sometimes. Like he'll make a mistake in the game and he'll sit for like minutes, like minutes at a time. But it's like do you really have a chance to kind of work through your mistakes, or do you kind of have to just don't mess up? Like just go out there and don't mess up the game. Like you know what I
I
mean? Like it's
don't think the
interesting.
Heat, I don't think the Heat are in a place to want to allow players to develop and make those mistakes. And I also think a lot of it has to do with Pat Riley. He's what is he like? And he's in his late 70s, early 80s. Um, so it's maybe he wants one last championship before he hangs everything up.
Dang,
Um,
Kobe, jeez,
so what do you mean, dang Kobe?
he's 81.
He's 81. Oh,
Yeah,
well, he wants one
Guys,
last
oh,
chance.
81 running an NBA organization.
I'm telling you, he doesn't have patience for development. He wants one last chip before he retires.
81 is wild. I thought he was like maybe late 60s.
Bruh,
Not that you think about it, he did coach. Oh, what happened?
you thought I was saying this? Pat Riley finally woke up and he was in his 60s? Like,
I be forgetting he coached Magic Johnson. So it's like, like he's up, like he's been through it. And he still has his hair. That's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah,
money.
nah, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, I could see that point, just patience maybe then. And then another thing I thought of too, like, right? Well, one thing I thought of course, with this trade is will Thanasis and Alexander Antetokounmpo be a part of the Heat culture as well? But we can talk about that later. But really though, like and I don't know if spoiled is the right word. You could like maybe I don't know. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but like with the big three, right? They've had some talented players come through there, right? Like you know what I mean? Like you have D Wade, right? And Lonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, Jason Williams, Gary Payton, Antoine Walker, like that championship team, right? Like that was a great team, right? Great players, things like that. And then you can like go a few years, you're blessed to get LeBron, right? And Bosh, right? And you build around them. You get Ray Allen, you get Shane Battier, you get Rashard Lewis, you get a lot of guys, right? Um, and then Jimmy Butler, you get Jimmy Butler, and then it's kind of like, and you get Jimmy Butler, and then it's you almost you almost make it to the finals, like you almost won a championship with him, right? Because and he was able to do so much with so little, right? So it's like I wonder like if that like I don't know if spoiled, like they were like kind of spoiled with the big three, maybe. Like I don't know if spoiled is the right word. It may not be the right word, but kind of just like I don't know if maybe like that was such a great team with the big three. Like maybe that's the expectation. Like you know what I mean? Like every year, like we got a feeling like we know what like everybody in the organization know what it took for that team to win. You know what I mean? Maybe you shouldn't have took LeBron's cookies, but that's another story before another day. But like you know, you try to, like that team wins it all, and then like that's kind of the expectation. But the talent on your roster may need to get developed to kind of reach that expectation. And I don't know if and like you said, with the patience piece, I think that's a great word that you brought up. Like, I wonder if that patience has been there to kind of redevelop, that kind of championship culture. Because yes, they do like work hard and everything like that, but I think also, I mean, there's got to be some form of player development maybe involved, right?
Some for player development involved.
Yes. We about to- And I mean, and I don't know if Jimmy Butler's the right answer because he did a lot with like and I don't want to say little because I mean everybody on that team's hoopers, but like he did a lot with like kind of the talent that he had. Like he was pretty much the only star on that team. Like you know what I mean? Like
I will say this: the Heat
uh-huh.
are very good at utilizing what little talent they have.
Right,
Um, they're very good at getting average players and putting them in situations to be really good.
right.
To maximize that. Um, Now development. When we talk about development, who have the Heat really developed? If you look at the Heat's history, I feel most of the people that they have. First off, if you look at an all-time Heat lineup, amazing, right? But then when you really look at it, most people that they have has been either they signed them, the LeBrons, the Bosh, or they traded for them, the Giannis, the Shaqs. Really, development is who can you say that he have developed? Wade? Wade came in pretty good already. He was gonna be a top five pick one way or another. Um, so I can't think of somebody off the top of my head that the Heat have really developed and like developed, not utilizing them so well that they get a good contract and they've done good because of the way they're being utilized. I'm talking about real development.
Yeah. I mean, the only person I could think of with that scenario is Gabe Vincent, of course. But I mean, even in the
Did
Lakers though,
they
he
really
didn't really
develop Gabe? Where's Gabe Vincent right now?
exactly. That's a good point. I don't know. Last time I heard he was with the Hawks. I don't know. I don't know exactly though. But no,
I don't know
I
where
see
he's
it. I see where you're going. Would Duncan Robinson count?
But even then, like Duncan Robinson,
Came
they
in
were
like
doing
that.
well the last 2 years, the last two or the last year. When they had Duncan, they just benched him and then never used him for that last year. So then it's like
Hmm.
you gave him this contract, you thought he was a good 3-point shooter, then you just bench him. And I think Duncan Robinson's doing, pretty well on the Pistons. So it was like, why did you have him just sitting on the bench for those last 2 years when you had him? It's stuff like that that questionable.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm getting at. Like, what is that? Like that, what you just explained, like even like what I was talking about with Khalil where earlier, like I want, and maybe it is just what you said. It's just a patience piece. I mean, that's just what it looks like. Like just I don't know if it's just a lack of patience or of just seeing it through, or if it's just I don't know, like maybe high expectations. Like I don't know, but um, I mean, you hope this works out though. Uh, I mean, what do you think about the Bucks though? Just to touch on the Bucks a little bit. Like, how do you feel about the pieces that they got? I mean, they're probably going to be a busy team this offseason, but just this trade alone, how do you feel about those pieces?
Um, I don't really know how to feel necessarily. They got some good young pieces. Um, I don't know if they're gonna trade Tyler Hero. I would say they should
Oh,
just trade Tyler Hero. Um,
okay.
Tommy Comcast is already like 20, 25 or something, right? He's not necessarily young.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean they
I
got some
think
good pieces. Those late picks are gonna be really good. I'll give them that.
I
For
think Hero got
2033 Heat ain't looking so good.
I think Hero got he's in the last year of his deal, so
Trade him.
and I mean, do you even see Milwaukee extending him? I
Just
mean,
trade him. Just trade him.
yeah, just
Get
trade
more
him,
young pieces.
just rebuild.
I mean, you could. Oh man,
What?
the issue with Milwaukee rebuilding is they're not allowed to lose games. They don't have their pick. They don't have their own pick. So if they're bad, it goes to the Trailblazers.
Right, right, right.
So they're
Is
just
that
in such a weird situation right now.
you talking about? Is that the pick swap in 2030 that you're talking about, or something else?
The Bucks don't have their first round pick for the next 4 years or something.
Really?
So they gave it for Damian Lillard.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So the Trailblazers have a good amount of their picks. So if they're
Dang.
bad, the Trailblazers get it. So it's
Wow.
weird. They're
Yeah,
they're in a
that's
weird
tough.
spot.
Tough position to me. Now I wonder if Miles Turner is going to stay. Like after
Trade him.
what? Just dang. No
Just trade
hesitation,
him.
huh? No
Just trade
hesitation.
him.
Yeah, after that,
What are you gonna do with him? What are you gonna do with him?
after that podcast clip, I was like I wonder like how that's like, do you even keep him after like you know what you said about Giannis, what you said about Doc Rivers, like
Just
you
trade
know
him.
what I mean?
Trade him.
Trade him.
Just trade him.
Sure. Yeah.
Some team will love to have a Turner on their team, and they will overpay. Just trade him.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess you build around. I don't even know who you build. I mean, Ryan Rollins. I mean, Jaime Jaquez. I hope Jaime Jaquez gets a chance to like actually, ball out and start because he's got talent for sure. He's a baller. Um, but yeah, uh, I'm curious to see if Giannis is able to bring his brothers over like to Miami. I mean that because Heat culture seems kind of cemented, but if they allow that, that would be interesting to see like if they allow you know him to bring his brothers along as well.
I have a question. Before we're getting towards the end of the Giannis thing, and I want to ask this last question because it kind of has to do with it, kind of not.
Hmm.
Do you feel? I think there's gonna be a fallout from this, right?
Oh,
Specifically thinking of the Boston Celtics
okay.
and Jaylen Brown,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
because he's been in so many trade rumors, and I'm not just talking about this season. I'm talking about previous seasons, and it just gotten so much worse this season because they were trying so hard for Giannis. You have to feel like there's some tension there, um, between that Oregon Brown because Brown did so much, specifically this season when they think everybody thought the Celtics were done, they were gonna tank, and he put them on their back and kind of brought them into the playoffs. And then for them to see that he was the Finals MVP when they won, and then just be like, "We're gonna trade him still. We don't want him." I think it's gonna bring a lot of tension into that org. Um, so do you think it's repairable, or do you think they're gonna have to trade him this season?
The old saying, as they say, when someone shows you who they are, just believe them. Like that's it. You know. Don't try to change it. Don't try to like make it, work for what you want it to be. Try to reconfigure it to what you want it to be when it's clearly something else. You bring up these points, these great points. Uh, do I think he's gonna get traded?
Yep.
Yes, for sure. And of course, like you said, I mean, you said nothing about talent, right? Like he's definitely not getting traded because he's a bad player. I mean, you bring up I don't, you bring up great points. And the doubt is still there. Like, let's see what we could get for him after he does all this stuff. You know what I mean? And I mean, this year has got to be like the breaking point, right? Just because the star player is out is supposed to be out for the full season with an Achilles injury, and he averages pretty much 28, almost 30 points a game, leading Boston. You know what I mean? Along with Derek White, along with everybody else, but he's leading the team. I mean, he's the bona fide leader, the bona fide best player while Tatum is out, right? And he's leading the team while Tatum is out. Tatum kind of rushes back. I mean, I don't know if he rushed back, but it seems like I'll make an educated guess that he rushed back because he ended up going back down again in the playoffs, right? And Jaylen Brown is still that guy. Um, I think also this will be good for him, right? Just because. But yes, I do think he's traded, but I think this will be good for him just because even when Tatum came back, right, it seemed like even though Brown was averaging 30, it seemed like everything was kind of it seemed like the offense was still kind of structured to where let's try to get Tatum like let's just work around Tatum getting back involved saying instead of it being like Tatum like sit back for a little bit, like, not sit back, but like take the Robin role for a second. And Jaylen Brown has been like carrying us this year. Like let's just continue to ride that boat, and you just kind of get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? because it was interesting too. Because I think I seen in an interview too, like one of the press clips or something. Like even Tatum was like, you know, like I'm gonna just get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? And just try to work my way in and work around like work around the team and everything like. But that was not. But from my eyes, that wasn't really the case once he's actually started playing ball, and that's normal, right? Because you're the guy. Like you were averaging 30. Like you were the best player on the team, before you came back, before you went down with your injury. So you like still want to kind of show that you're still that guy. But I mean, Jaylen Brown was kind of carrying the team, being efficient and everything. So I think Jaylen Brown has definitely shown that he could be a leader, and be the best player on the squad. But with Jason Tatum there, I don't think he'll ever get to fully show that on a night to night basis. And I mean, and then you kind of just add the icing on the cake with, you know what I mean? Like with the finals MVP, still in trade talks, Achilles injury, like you're carrying the team when Jason Tatum is out with the Achilles injury, and then there's still trade talks for Giannis. Like, I mean, you need that's two strikes right there. I mean, and there probably was something else that we don't know about, but that's just two I can think of right now. So I think this would be a good opportunity for him to go to another team that could just like that he can be the guy. You know what I mean? Be the number one guy. What team is that? I mean, I don't know. I guess you gotta think about that, really, right? Like, who has pieces? Like, who has pieces to kind of give the Celtics what they need? I mean, Milwaukee. I mean, do the Celtics want Tyler Hero? Like, would they sign him to an extension? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, would they want to sign Tyler Hero to that type of extension? Would they want to give Jaylen Brown up? You know what I mean? For that, like, for that type of extension. And I mean, Milwaukee does have a couple of unprotected picks that they did pick up from the Heat. So I mean, they do have. I'm sure they have a package that they could offer, the Celtics, but I just don't know if the Celtics would be interested in Tyler Hero long term. Or no, they don't. They don't have nothing to offer.
No, I think if the Celtics do, well, I feel like the Celtics are gonna have to do it because this the relationship's kind of broken. I feel like,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be like a star for star type of thing.
Okay.
Like they'll look for another star that probably wants out. One star for another star. Switch of sceneries for the kind of
I
two stars
mean,
probably. I don't
who's
know
the
what's
other
gonna
star?
very hard to find them. So
Like, is
I'm
it
not
is it
Brad
John Morant?
Stevens, so that's pretty good.
Like, is the
John
other
Moran,
star John? Like,
John
is it
Moran,
John Morant? Like, I don't know. I
John
mean,
Moran.
I don't like what other stars are disgruntled right now. Like, I don't
I
know.
don't know. That's why I'm not in the front office. I wouldn't
You
want to
will
be
be one
Brad.
day. You will be one day. You will. You're on
Stevens.
your way. You're on your way. But what do you think? I mean, so what? You think he's out too? You think he's
I
gonna?
think the relationship is just broken at this point.
Okay,
I think
I
they're
agree.
gonna have to do something else.
No, I agree.
Next
All right,
trade.
what we got next?
We got another
That was
trade that
probably
happened.
like 20 minutes.
20. That was like 30. I'm joking. Uh, 40 minutes. Um,
40 minutes.
that's how good the Giannis trade. Um,
Okay. Like, comment,
so next
subscribe.
we had another trade that happened. Um, we had Minnesota was sending Julius Randle and the number 28 pick to the Nets. Um, in a three-team trade where the Nets then sent Nick Claxton to the Bulls. And then all the Timberwolves got was the number 33 pick. Very interesting.
Very
Um,
interesting.
so I guess they did this to clear up cap space.
Hmm.
Because Randall had that contract. Because right after that, they followed it by giving Ayo 5 years, $112 million.
Get
Um,
paid.
so he got paid. So in my eyes, they traded Randall to kind of give Ayo that money, to
Hmm.
try to keep him.
Indeed.
But now I feel like there's a lot of questions with the Timberwolves. What do you do for the Timberwolves? Where's your future headed? Like, what are you doing to put Ant in a position to win, you know, the finals?
I think you got to go for another star. Um, yeah, I mean, this is the summer. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Is this the summer? I mean, I don't know who's available. Um, to you gotta pair him with another star. Uh, Julius Randle, he's a good basketball player, but I don't know if like I mean he's not in that like superstar range. Like I think you gotta pair Ant with somebody that's like John Morant level. Like I mean, I'm probably keep saying John Morant, but because I mean, of course, the situation in Memphis, but like John Morant, like Zion level. Of course, Zion may not be on the move, but like that level of player, you know what I mean? Like you gotta pair him with a young rising star. I don't know if one will be available, but he needs somebody there, like just a running mate, just somebody that could kind of, kind of compete with his star power a little bit. I don't know who that is. You know what I mean? But you got to do something just to keep him, keep your star player, satisfied, and wanting to continue to try to build for a championship.
Yeah, and I agree that they have to find him a running mate. I just don't understand how they're gonna do it.
I don't know
Because if you
either.
look at the team, I don't know what first round picks they have. I don't know if maybe they have all of them or just a few. But I know a lot of money is going into obviously Ant has the max. They just signed Ayo, so he's getting a good amount of money. A lot of money is going to McDaniel, and a lot of money is going to Rudy Gobert. Um, so then how do you maneuver that? Because obviously they like McDaniel's. He's playing good defense for them. But also you know Gobert is kind of your defensive anchor at the same time. Um,
Hmm.
but then you kind of have to maneuver where if you trade one of those guys, you need to be able to get a running mate for Amp, but you also got to maneuver to not let your defense go once one of those
Hmm.
two. I think that's going to
Yeah,
be their biggest issue going forward.
yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. But I mean, it's cool for Julius Randle, right? You pretty much just get to go to a Nets team that's not really gonna win, not really trying. I don't want to say trying to win, but that's probably not gonna win in the near future, right? I mean, we'll see if they surprise us. Who knows? But probably not gonna win in the near future. So, you get a chance to get your stats, get your numbers, have fun, and just ball out over there. I mean, yeah, I guess they would keep him, right? Like he wouldn't be. I don't think you don't like buy him out or nothing like that. That wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense, right?
I'll buy him out.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
going to be interesting seeing Randall and Michael Porter Jr. play together. That'll be interesting.
1A, 1B. Hey, your turn, my turn. Like that's
Yeah,
literally was like
can't
your
wait for
turn,
that.
my turn. But and then also, shout out to the Bulls as well. Nick Claxton, he's a solid center. The Bulls did lose Vucevic last year. You know what I mean? So, you get Nick Claxton, a proven center, solid center, athletic, rim runner, shot blocker, things like that. So I think that's a good get for the Bulls as well.
And shout out to the Bulls because it wasn't a point guard. And their number 4 overall pick wasn't a point guard. So shout out to them. They're finally getting some forwards and big men in that
Hey man,
organization.
Billy
Um,
Donovan is no longer the coach, man.
Billy Donovan's no longer the coach.
We're
They got a new front office,
gonna
so it's looking up for the Bulls. I'm excited for them now. It's finally looking up for them.
Oh man. Nah, but yeah, definitely shout out to them. Shout out to, like you said, Dosumu, for his 5-year 112 deal. It's a great deal. And yeah, I'm curious to see what the Wolves are able to do. I don't know whether it's this offseason or I mean, well, it kind of has to be. I mean, because if they don't make no moves this offseason, like if you're Ant Edwards, you gotta be questioning like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm curious to see what they're able to do, and what else they're able to build.
We have the other trade we had, um, but I know you probably wanted to start off with this one, but we had to start with Giannis first. Um, so it's giving you some time. Um, but the Thunder made a trade,
Ah,
um, for 2 future second round picks. Um, what is that, like a current fifth grader? Um, So shout out to your scouting departments going over there to watch fifth grade basketball. Um, and then the Hawks got Aaron Wiggins. How do you feel about that?
It's like a high school freshman. Jeez. Um, uh, Sucks. Um, I always wondered why he wasn't playing in the playoffs. So this may be a reason, maybe preserve his value. I don't know. I mean, I hope that's why. I hope you just weren't playing. I hope you were not playing him just because he wasn't good enough. Because that's just that's just wild. The man saved basketball. Aaron Wiggins saved basketball. Um, it just sucks that he's gonna have to do it in Atlanta instead of Oklahoma. But he's definitely a good player. They're getting a great player. Um, I think he'll be able to kind of replace maybe Zachary Richard's role maybe a bit. Maybe that 3 or 2, depending on how they want to do it. But I think that'll work out for him. But nah, he's gonna be a great player. I think Atlanta's gonna love him for sure.
I remember we are talking back when I was like the Spurs Thunder, and you had mentioned how you were mad that Isaiah Joe and Wiggins weren't getting playing time. I think
They're
I had
NBA
mentioned that.
champions.
I had mentioned that I thought that it was probably going to lead to a trade. Um, so it looks like that's where it's going. I've heard that there's rumors about Isaiah Joe probably getting traded. Wiggins is already traded. Um,
You
so
just
it's
had
just
to be
that.
right, huh?
If
You
you look at OKC's cap hit this year, they're making moves to try to figure out how to get you know, young cheap players to continue this dynasty with their three max contract players.
so this must mean that they're trying to keep Hartenstein then, probably, because he has a team option of 28 mil um for this summer. So
Bro, you need Hartenstein.
you do.
You need Hartenstein. Like there's no way around it. Chet can't step into that role. He's nowhere near ready. Even though he's getting paid $41 million, he's not ready. But I
Wow.
will say, since we're already on the Thunder, we might as well mention it. You guys got a center in the draft. I mean,
Adim Mara. Yeah.
7'3", I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Chet better be shaking in his boots because he's not the only tall guy now. Um, OKC just drafted a potential replacement for him if he doesn't get it together.
Yeah, it could be some psychology. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like this guy to be your replacement or your backup. Like it's up to you. Like it's literally up to you. The cards in your hand. You got the contract that you wanted. You know what I mean? And now it's just time to produce. So I'm curious to see. What that if that has any impact. I really want to see what Sobert does because he had a whole year to kind of sit on the bench, watch how the team operates, see where he could fit in and things like that. So I'm curious. I'm really curious to see like what he's able to do next year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, they're making moves. Um, they'll get too attached to some of those players, honestly, because they're probably getting traded for picks. Some way
Guys,
or another. You guys
no,
always
for
trading
sure.
that for picks. But yeah, I think Wiggins on the Hawks is gonna be a good fit. It's gonna be very interesting. He showed what he could do on the Thunder, and he's just gonna take that over to the Hawks and be really good for them. So, the Hawks have quietly put a nice team together.
Yeah,
After the Trae Young trade. Um, it's not like they gave up, their star player and had to rebuild. I think they're still on the same trajectory that they were in
you think
pre, during, and post Trae Young.
you think they re-sign CJ McCollum?
So I think they'll resign. Didn't they resign him?
I don't know. Did he? Why they have him as a free agent? You know what? I think you're right. I think he did resign.
I think they signed him for 1 year. 1 year. Let me look it up.
Yeah, you're right. 1 year, 21 mil.
Right. Yeah, 1 year,
Yeah,
21
you're
mil.
right.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they have him
Why do you have
already. So
why do, why do you have him
21.
as a why do you have him as a free agent?
I think
Oh,
it's it's it's
it's not
it's
official, maybe?
it's not official yet. It's like they're
Okay.
intended to sign him to a contract. They can't
Okay.
legally sign it till whatever free
Uh,
agency. Not even.
yeah,
I
you
think
should.
free agency starts. Then you can start agreeing with like free agents who aren't on. Like you can start now agreeing with people who are on your team to
On your
re-sign them.
team. Hmm.
Then free agency starts, and you could agree to sign people who are not on your team,
Hmm.
and then you're legally allowed to actually sign the paper and sign them. So
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
it's a weird process.
Yeah, no, it is. 'Cause it's a lot. It's a lot, and that might be another whole another episode. We need to do probably on free agents for real, because it's a lot of guys that are up, that could help a lot of different teams. So we could definitely do an episode on that for sure. But but yeah, what we got next?
I mean, we're talking about the Hawks. They traded away Trey Young.
They did,
Um,
but he
to
got that
the to
bag
the
though.
to the Wizards, and he opted out just to get signed for money.
How much money?
Money. Um,
How much we
for four
talking?
years, 212. Money.
4 divided by 212, carry the 5. 3, 12 goes into 4 3 times. So 5 and 3 equals 50 plus 3, $53 million a year.
Wow, you're so good.
Five,
Such a mathematician.
3 million. Not over 4 years, 1 year.
Yep,
Shout out
yep,
to the trust fund, man.
yep.
Shout out to the shout,
So he
shout,
resigned.
shout out to the
Um,
wheel. I mean, geez
Shout out
Louise.
to so
Like,
they obviously see something in Trey Young, giving him that large contract. Hopefully it works out for them. They also got the number one overall pick in the draft.
it's looking on the up and up.
It's looking on the up and up. So the Wizards are on the come up. AD still has
He's
what
pending.
this year and another year.
Well, because he's on the list too. So let me
Is he
correct. Let me
he have a player
actually,
option this year or next year?
no, not this next year. Yeah, no, he's good
Next
for
year.
this year.
Okay.
I
So
think,
he's
yeah, I think,
guaranteed to be on that team.
yeah. So I guess he's
So
extension eligible. I don't know if they,
that's
I don't
eligible. Yeah.
I don't know if they sign him. I mean, they're probably gonna. You gotta show us that you could remain
Yeah.
healthy, and then,
Yeah.
because I mean, I don't know, like, what leverage does he have? I mean, of course we all know he's a top five talent. When at his, oh, excuse me, when at his full capacity. But I mean, lately he's just been, like, hurt. So it's uh, like, why would we be in a rush to sign you? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, think about it, like Trey Young. I mean, what? Yeah, they're probably gonna start Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson at the two. AJ DeBansta, and Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr. Now, how does all that work? Is to remain question. You know what I mean? Um,
Figure it out.
yeah, and then you got Keyshawn George off the bench. You still got Bub Carrington. You still got some. I think Marvin Bagley, like, he's been solid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you still got some guys. So I'm curious to see. Now the thing is, though, and this may not have been on the coach, but I don't know. They have been losing for a very long time. Now, have they been losing for a very long time because, like, is it a coach thing, right? Or is it, what I mean, or just we're developing our talent? So I think this year, it won't also be an important year for Anthony Davis, right? But I think it'll be an important year just for the coach as well, because it's like you have talent now. You know what I mean? Like, Trey Young's back. Trey Young's back and healthy. We'll see. Like, we gotta see if AD is gonna give us a full 82, maybe 70 games, like, or 65 games. Like, we'll see if he could get to that 65 game threshold. You got AJ DeBansta, you got Alex Sarr, you got Trey Johnson. So we'll see. This is a coaching thing, or if they just gel. Because I mean that's a tough task on the coach. I mean you got like what more could you ask for? You got an elite PG, a potentially elite, Anthony Davis put potential Hall of Famer in the future. Alex Sarr, a rising young guard. I mean, not young guard, a young center. A young anchor. So I mean, like, what more do you need? And then you got AJ DeMansa, who just averaged 25 as a freshman in college. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah, better get it together.
I
They better
mean,
start playing winning basketball because now's the time. Now is the
Brian.
time.
So Brian Keefe, Mr. Keefe. I mean, you and your staff, y'all got y'all work cut out for y'all. But
Get it
if
together.
y'all do it right, though, if y'all do it right, could be something special.
Yep, yep. Shout out to them. Um, it's looking up. They got a lot of young, bright pieces. Um, previously they did. Now they just added the number one overall pick to it.
Yeah,
Um, so shout out to them. They're looking bright for them. If they
yeah. It
could
seemed
all
like
get together and play winning ball.
Trey Young and AD kind of just turned the rebuild, like maybe accelerate the rebuild a little bit. Like I don't know. I mean, and that's a shout out to the GM as well to be able to kind of be in these positions to, you get AD and Trey Young and you still have the opportunity to get the number one pick and get AJ. Like, you know what I mean? So definitely a shout out to that front office too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited though. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do.
I agree. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have coaching hires. We had Dusty May from Michigan got hired by the
That's
Mavs.
just that's not wild. He's a great coach. I'm sorry. He's not great. Oh, that's it.
Oh, I thought we were gonna start with that one. I thought you were gonna keep going by
Oh,
that.
my bad. Oh, I thought no, my bad. I thought you were still saying some stuff. Oh, my bad.
No, 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 no,
Uh,
no. Go ahead, go ahead. I
I
thought you were
wasn't
gonna be
saying
real.
I wasn't saying it's wild because he got hired as a coach because he's clearly a great coach. Led FAU to the Final Four. You know, hey, let's see if you could do it on a big conference, right? Let's see if you could do this with a Big Ten team. You know what I mean? They win it all, right? Michigan wins it all, right? So, I mean, he's answered the challenges at the different levels, right? It was just wild. Like the wild piece is just, of course, the draft. He drafts, his power forward, Morez Johnson. Is he
Yeah,
a junior? I think he's a junior. Yeah, Morez Johnson Jr. And who's athletic. What I mean, very active. Can play. It was just kind of like it was just kind of wild because I mean, you just got the job, and then you're able to kind of, get your college one of your college players. You know what I mean? And it's even pretty cooler, right? Because he could have went three different directions, right? Like he could have went with, Mara, because he had like what? It was like three players that were lottery picks. He
yep.
could have went with Mara. I mean Adele Mara. He could have went with Yaxel Lindenborg. You know what I mean? But he chose to go with Mirage Johnson, right? So definitely shout out to him. He's clearly worked his way to this position, right? Like explaining his college pathway and things like that. And we'll see if he can do it with the big leagues.
You know, shout out to him for making it to the big leagues. Um, Around the draft, we kind of all know the Mavs were gonna pick a Michigan player just because they hired the Michigan coach. I think they made the specific pick because of age, um, and fit with the team. I think Yaxel was probably the leader of that team, but I think his age probably had something to do with it. But I'm actually excited to see him with Curry. Um, that's gonna be nice since he got drafted to the
Hmm.
one.
Did you
And
see
then
his
you guys got your big man.
press conference? Got Yaxel's press conference. He's like, I used to be a cat. Like, I didn't really like her. I used to be a Kyrie guy in 2018. I was like, I don't know. That kid needs to get PR trained immediately, bro.
Oh, yeah, he real about it, man. What can you say about it? He's real about it. Um,
His TikToks are hilarious. Like, if you ever watch his TikToks, like he's a wild young man. He's a
shout
wild
out
guy.
to him. Shout out
Yeah,
to him.
shout out to him.
So I think they made the joke that it was gonna be like the Michigan Mavs now. Um,
Ha! Hilarious.
so I thought that was funny. Um, and I was actually I guess not surprised he got hired, but I was actually highly expecting him to potentially go to the Magic, just because the Magic have a lot of ties with Michigan. They seem to like Michigan players and stuff. Um, so it's the Magic didn't take him, but I'm glad that the Mavs were able to take him. Still being able to take probably the Mavs were probably a better team because they're young. Um, so then he can kind of grow with that team in terms of like the NBA style of stuff. So I think he's gonna be really good for that Mavs team.
Magic do got a couple. What they got? Jet Howard, Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner. Yeah, they got a couple guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm curious though. I think it's exciting, right? You haven't really heard what I don't know. The last college coach I heard was what maybe Fred Hoiberg. I don't know. Was there anybody since Fred Hoiberg? Oh,
Was
I'm
he the
tripping.
last one?
I don't know. Was he? Has it been
Was
that
he
long?
after Billy?
I think he was. I don't know. Well, that's a good
Hmm.
question. I don't know
It was one of them two. That's all I know.
because
Pretty
Billy
sure it
went
was
to
like one of them.
OKC. I'm trying to remember if that was before or after Fred Hoiberg, though. Because Fred Hoiberg's he's back at Nebraska in the college at Nebraska.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
that's one of them. So, and I
But
feel
yeah,
like I think I saw a statistic where now I don't know if I'm wrong. Most college coaches haven't necessarily done the best when transferring over. There's been very few who have found like true long-term winning success. Um, so it's gonna be interesting. I really hope he's one of the outliers that actually has some success out here um,
yeah.
moving
And I
forward.
mean, you got to strike while the iron's hot, right? You've shown your pedigree, like FAU, Michigan. You win national championship. I mean, they're definitely calling. You win the national championship the way that you did. They're definitely going to call you, right? And see what you can do. And I mean, it's kind of interesting too, especially with the NIL era, right? Because I mean, you could kind of compare the college basketball landscape to the NBA, right? Like NBA, your roster may not be the same as it was last year, right? Just because, free agency, contracts, things like that. College, you could say the same thing, right? Oh, you don't like, oh, like y'all don't got the money for my deal. Okay, I'm in the portal. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, coach, you don't want to play me? Like, okay, I'll go somewhere where I can get playing time. You know what I mean? So it's it may not be that much different, NBA, college in terms of just politics, you know what I mean? And things of that nature and money, right? So I mean, well, money's definitely different, but just in terms of, like contracts and things like that. But so maybe and then for him to kind of navigate that and still win the championship in his second year, I think what, second or third year? I think his second year. Win a championship in the second year, like, okay, hey, maybe you have something in you, right? To where you can maybe bring some of that magic, to um the NBA, you know?
Yeah, and just for your mention of striking while the iron is hot, I think it was the perfect opportunity for him to make that jump to the NBA and see what he could do on the NBA level. Because I think it's harder to get into the NBA, but it's so much easier if he decides to go back to a college coaching. I think going back to college is much easier because Hoiberg did it, like you just mentioned, but it's so much harder going from a college to the NBA level.
And I mean, and I don't know if this needs to be a conversation, but like, and then also you gotta think like this is big, right? Because I'm sure well, not guys, yeah, guys in the league, like men on those benches that are probably looking for a head coaching job. And he's able to kind of skip all those guys and still, get a head coaching job at the Mavs where you get an opportunity to potentially, I don't know if he stays, like, potentially coach Kyrie Irving, potentially coach Cooper Flag. Right, you get to coach these guys. Now you get to coach your old college player, right? So you get to coach these guys. So it's also I think that also says a lot that like they saw something in him over all the potential. NBA assistants that have been on NBA benches longer than him because I don't think he's been an NBA assistant before. Not to my knowledge, right? So I mean, for him to be able to skip all those guys, I think that's a pretty big deal too.
Yes, yeah, I agree. So, no, hopefully he does well over there.
Hopefully, we'll see.
There was another coaching hire. The Portland Trailblazers hired the Timberwolves lead assistant, Mikal Nori, as the franchise next coach. And I think what's interesting about this one, first, he's been in the NBA since coaching ranks in the NBA since 2009. So he's been there for a while. So it says he signed a multi-year deal. But what's very interesting is the first year was guaranteed. I think it was year number 2 and year number 3 are team option.
Whoa, that's wild.
I think this is probably the first time. I can't say the first time. The first time in recent memory, probably.
Well,
Um,
you've been talking about that.
I've been talking about it, and
You
that's what
have.
caught my attention so much that recently it's like 5 years, 5 years. Maybe somebody gets a 3 year.
Yeah.
Um, but now this is probably the first time. I guess somebody was listening to me. Um,
Ah.
they got
Mm.
a coach was hired on a prove it deal. That's what I like to call it. You got 1 year guarantee. Prove it. You know, your job's on the
Yeah.
line. You want us to pick up that option?
Talk about pressure.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, first time full time head coach. I mean, he did, hold it down while Chris Finch was out, with his injury. But I mean, first time full time head coach, right? So, talk about the pressure of that, the pressure of having to perform. Like you're literally an NBA player on a 1 year deal, right? Like you're an NBA player in his contract year. Like this is you, right? So you gotta kind of figure out, whatever you can do to kind of make sure Portland makes to the playoffs. Like that's really the that's really the goal. Just make sure that Portland makes to the playoffs this year. Um, and I guess after this news, I guess Chauncey Billups is not coming back. Uh, you know, so that kind of answered my question. You kind of see the Wikipedia like, okay, suspended head coach. So I guess they could just say, um, coach now. Um, but yeah, what's interesting about Michael Nori's story though, this man was a baseball coach, like a former baseball coach in Indiana. He's a former baseball coach in Indiana. He played baseball at Indiana University, so he was a baseball guy. So to be able to kind of like that's a great story to be able to kind of you play one sport, you coach that sport, and then now you make your way over to an NBA sideline, and you're able to succeed through that and become a head coach. I mean, hats off to him for sure. Just because that's I mean two different sports. Like you could do two different sports, like coaching both of those. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know that, so that's a pretty cool fact that I didn't know about.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at
No,
that.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Get on this podcast. You learn something new every day. That's
No facts.
this
No,
is
that's
why
pretty
more
cool
people should tune in.
though.
So,
No facts. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that
like,
good
comment,
stuff.
subscribe. But yeah, Phillips, good luck on his future endeavors. Um, I'm actually interested to know if the Portland Trailblazers are gonna have to pay Phillips the rest of that contract,
It's a good point.
or will the NBA allow them to like void the contract because obviously he's going to court. So I think that's an excusable option for them to void a contract if it's like
It's a good point.
if one of us gets like a felony and goes to jail, I'm pretty sure we're getting fired from our job too. So I mean,
Let's stay clean. Let's stay clean.
no gambling, no
Spooky
gambling,
times. Spooky times
no
out here.
no gambling about your job either.
Please, I'm good. I ain't touching it, bro. I ain't touching it. I am not touching it. But nah, definitely congrats to him. Great opportunity. Well, I don't know if it's a great opportunity. I mean, other coaches are getting multi-year guarantees, and you only get one. So, I mean, but it is an opportunity. So get to prove what you're worth. So, yeah,
From
no, best
yeah,
of luck.
from a coaching standpoint, probably not the best. Everybody
Right.
else is getting 5 years, but from an organizational standpoint, I think it's a good deal. And obviously, I've been saying that a lot about winning more of these, so it finally
Right.
happened.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
Um, Last, we kind of been talking about it to go out. I kind of try to sprinkle some of it out. The NBA draft happened.
Let's talk
Um,
about it.
so we've kind of mentioned we've kind of briefly talked about some of the people, as we were talking along. I don't, in my opinion, I feel like you sat there and watched, and there wasn't that many surprises. There wasn't that many trades. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was. I feel like it was just a regular what you expected happened. Um, I don't know. Was there anything that stood out to you, from the draft? Anything that happened? Anybody that got picked didn't get picked? Anything like that?
Anything that happened, I would say the top seven, maybe eight, was kind of set, I believe. You know, you knew AJ was one, right? Well, AJ or Dan Peterson, one of them was going to be one, and then the next one was going to go there, and then Cam Boozer to Memphis. I really like Caleb Williams to Chicago. I mean Caleb Wilson to Chicago. I think he's definitely the most talented player in the draft. Just from a physical standpoint, measurables, just skill set. Like I think he's definitely potentially most talented player. If developed properly, he could be definitely a good future piece. Um, I mean, it's a lot. I think this draft though, I don't think you should really necessarily expect too much star power, but I think each team you're able with this draft, you're able to find a prospect that could fit some of your team's needs, right? Like, with the Spurs, I kept hearing a lot with this draft, like bigs, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like more bigs. So what do? They get Taurus Reed, from Connecticut, who's definitely a great big and develop great, under Coach Hurley. And then, he spent some time in Michigan as well. So him, and then you get Jaden Quantinus, right? Like who's a hit or miss, right? Like even though he has had some knee problems, his ACL, but he was a 5-star, right? So it's like, if he can get fully healthy, with an NBA training staff, Spurs, you may have gotten two quality bigs, for the future to pair with Wemby, right? You know what I mean? So you get some more big depth, right? Which is, I mean, you can't have too much of that, right? I mean, it's a lot of guys. You know, what one of the picks though, I mean, just to not, I mean, because there's so many picks, but one of the things I really did want to bring up was I like what Memphis did. Reason being, I think it could be a hit or actually no, he got traded. Well, actually no, so he got traded, but well, I would have liked what Memphis did, but Koa Pete, Koa Pete going at the 30th pick, I think that could be a potential steal just because of the high upside that he did have coming into college. I mean, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick, top 5 pick. Like people were putting him in the conversations of AJ, of Darren Peterson. Like he was in those conversations consistently, you know, uh like early in the college season, right? So he was in those conversations, but his production did lag off a bit. And of course, he didn't really and the consistency just wasn't there from a night to night basis, right? So I think he could definitely be a potential steal. And he gets go back home, right? So he got traded to Phoenix from Memphis. So he gets to go back home, play high school ball in Arizona, play college ball in Arizona, and then now you get to play NBA ball potentially in Arizona. So I think that could be a potential steal as well, especially someone that was highly touted as a top 5 pick, but ended up dropping to the 30th pick.
Yeah, yeah. Um, there's a lot of people like you were mentioning. I think there's a lot of players that got drafted in this draft that I think are gonna fit in very well with their team.
Yeah.
Um, they kept mentioning about how talented this draft is, and I think it's because of that because they're 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 players who their games are gonna fit in so well, and I think they're gonna be able to perfectly adjust once they be put into the NBA. Um, Obviously, also throughout the night, we've had a few trades, like you were mentioning one of them. Um, I think for me, the one trade that I thought was like interesting was the Knicks ended up turning their one first round pick into like 5 seconds. Um, I think
Wow.
they traded. If I remember, they traded with the Lakers first. The Lakers moved up. They got Cameron Carr.
Hmm.
Then that netted them. They moved back, got 1 second. Then they traded like two more times and got like four more picks. Um,
Hmm.
I think they have three picks in the second round, like which is gonna happen tonight when we're recording. I don't, whenever it's posted, probably the day
Yeah.
before, but whatever. Um, but it's for a team that's, we're questioning what they're gonna do. So there
Hmm.
was talk about they don't want to be anywhere near the second apron, but they just won a championship. I think they're maneuvering very well to try to get like good talent without having to spend so much money, and being able to
Right.
turn one first into 5 seconds is amazing job by the GM. He already did an amazing job gathering this team together to win a championship, and he's
Facts.
still on the road. So shout out to the Knicks, man.
Facts. No, shout out to the Knicks. But yeah, no, I agree. Excited to see, especially what the second round look like. There are some guys, still available, some good guys that could be available. Of course, maybe the player from Duke, Isaiah Evans, great shooter, has a high upside as a scorer. You know what I mean? So he wasn't picked in the first round, so he could be a potential steal. I mean, it's some guys. And we'll say, hey, Dusty may might go after his college point guard. Who knows? You know what I mean? If he's available. But yeah, that would be interesting to see, you know, uh, what that second round looks like.
Yeah. So some exciting times. Very exciting
Yeah.
times.
What I'm curious about though with the drafts, just like one more thing, like Keaton Wagner, just because Darius Garland is still there, I'm wondering how they'll be able to play off each other, if at all. Because Wagner can handle the ball and score, you know what I mean? And then Illinois did put him in those positions. But of course, Darius Garland is ball dominant guard, and he can handle the rock too as well. And he needs to handle the rock to kind of, be successful, right? So curious to see what that looks like. And I mean, even if he starts, even if he ends up starting, who knows? But if Wagner does start, I wonder what that would look like between him and Garland.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because I was thinking that um when it happened. But again, fifth overall pick. I think
Best available.
once we yeah, best available. That's one. The second, I think once we got to the fifth pick, the best available from like five to like what eight were all guards.
Yeah,
So one or another, it had to be a guard. Um,
thanks.
so
And we'll
and
see how
again,
long. Oh,
I was just gonna say that the Clippers are lucky to get a fifth overall pick, so they better make it work one way or another because they went from having no picks to the fifth pick. Amazing.
we'll see how long the Kings keep Darius Acuff at this point. What did I say? What
Oh
did I say
man,
earlier? Someone shows you who they are, believe them.
man, that's yeah.
We want to raise your stock and buy. Let's do it all over again.
Yeah. Good luck to him, man. Good luck to him because the
Good luck
Kings are
there.
something.
I hope they
Something.
change the words. I really do. I hope they change the ways. I hope he's different. I hope he's different. I hope they just let him rock out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. What are your thoughts? Just final. I mean, What are your thoughts on Austin Reeves' contract? The 4 year, 184, 185. Just real quick,
Completely
what,
forgot about it. Um,
I mean,
it's just so new. It completely slipped my mind.
yeah.
Um, but that's a lot of money. First off, highest contract for an undrafted player. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Good
I
for
think
him,
previously was it Fred VanVleet who had it previously, I think. Um,
Raleigh.
when he got that, what was it, like 40 or 30 from the Houston. Um,
Mhm.
but now Austin Reeves takes that. Obviously, like it's a lot of money, but I felt like they were gonna have to do it one or another. Because he was gonna get that money if it wasn't from the Lakers, it was gonna be from some other team. So the
Right.
Lakers just had to give him the money. And from the beginning of the season, he was working well with Luca. So hopefully that chemistry can still build. And it's just a matter of getting, maybe more defensive pieces around those two. Um, you know, be even better.
Facts. No, that's real. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that looks like and if that impacts LeBron at all, and if he stays or leaves. And no, they definitely secured him though. I mean, they're definitely locked in, for the long run. So yeah, see what they do. See what the Lakers do.
For sure. Shout out to them. And they got a good draft pick though.
Indeed. Cameron Carr, yeah, he was highly touted too. So excited to see what they do with him too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else?
Nope.
This has been another episode of the ONJ podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, as I forgot to say in the beginning. I apologize. And yeah, turn on post notifications, and we'll catch you in the next video. Yep.